At long last, CIG has released the new Hoverbike they've been teasing for months and put it on the EPTU. This is the Mirai Pulse, a new hover vehicle from the MISC Performance line. I didn't even know this was here until recent podcast guest Yo-Yo Meg posted a picture of it on Twitter, and I thought I'd hop on to show you guys what it looked like. In this video, I'm just going to give you a look at the bike, let you see how it performs and what it looks like fighting while we're in Grav Royale, which struggles a bit. Currently, it's only available in Grav Royale, so that's where we're going to stay. And I'll do something more substantial on this later if I'm feeling like it. Enjoy. Okay, so here we've got the Mirai Pulse. I'm just going to give you guys a look at this thing flying around. There's not too much to say. It is a hover vehicle. Who would have thought? I'm kind of floating here. So that's the first thing to say about this. Hover vehicles in this game, we got a rework last year, and it helped, but it's still just not great. And I understand. They're focusing on the ship combat model, Squadron 42, and the bulk of the game revolves around flying ships. But they do keep releasing hover bikes, and they're just... they don't do great. Like, look at this. You can't really properly aim down if you do end up in the air. And you end up in the air constantly. I mean, look at how long I'm hanging around up here for. I know I'm on a moon, so that's one thing. But if you're fighting a battle with somebody down there, I can't get back down to fight with them. I'm just kind of stuck up here. And this has always kind of been the behavior of hover vehicles. So, man, that's loud, sorry. So, while I do appreciate getting a new hover bike, obviously for a lot of people an LTI token, but another vehicle, more of a, oh, yeah, that's how you fly. More variety in the game. It's a new vehicle. I got a suicide score. Good for me. Add it to the death counter. While it's great to see more variety in this game, it's a little weird, to be honest, for us to be getting a hover bike right now. If anything, I would be expecting another multi-person ground vehicle because of where we're headed in terms of, base building in the next couple of years. Distribution centers are going to be more focused on group gameplay on the ground, localized gameplay. It's a bit strange to get a hover bike rather than, I don't know, even the G12. Where's the Origin G12? That's where I am with this. I mean, I'm not even a big fan of the design. I know I'm pooping all over it. I'm not a big fan of the design. I like the back. The back feels very kind of retro hover bike design. The front feels a little clunky to me. The headlight in particular reminds me, I think, of the Rivian headlights maybe. So I'm not crazy about the design, although I do respect that it does look good. Like, it looks good for what it's doing. I'm just not crazy about what it's doing. It's actually kind of fun to drive. Like, it's not as maneuverable as a hover quad, I think, but it feels good for hover bikes in Star Citizen. Like I said, they don't handle the best, but as you can see here, you can still have some fun driving them around. You just got to be careful about popping up in the air like this, because it can get out of hand really fast. Like if I just... well, there's also that too. And I just broke my gun off. So there's your first vulnerability. That weapon got knocked off like nothing. The bike's completely fine, but it just turned into a racing version. Yes, it did. And off we are into the air again. How exciting. I do appreciate that hover bikes are going to be useful at some point, but I feel like the timing is just a miss. Just flew over that person. The timing is just a miss for me, and we knew it was coming, so it's not like it's a surprise or anything, but I did think it was going to be something different other than just a bike with a gun on it. I thought maybe this would be something with some kind of industrial focus or more civilian oriented besides just fighting and racing. But, you know, here we are. The other version, it just basically doesn't have a gun on it. It's a racing version. I don't know if these actually have like storage or anything on them. I don't know what kind of gun it is. I can't tell you components. Folks, I'm not the person for that. I'm just here to check this out, and I don't seem to be able to get off of the bike. Can just kind of turn it back on, pop up off my leg. Got a nice little 5-week contusion, and rubbing it across the ice at 20 meters per second doesn't help. Ow! Come on, there we go. All right, there's your next selling point. Self-riding bike. Very proper. Don't need a mobi-glass for that. So, again, it's good to remember that they want there to be over 100 ground vehicles in this game. Something they said on Inside Star Citizen a few years ago. Who knows if that's still the goal, but between variants, between, you know, little joke vehicles like the original Raptor we saw come out, that was, I guess, data mined from the files, and they released it as like the cleaning truck. Besides, even including stuff like that, they want to have over 100 ground vehicles. So there is going to be a lot of variety and a lot of, what's the word? Redundance between some of the stuff, because ultimately it's going to come down to a lot of like design and interest, like this versus the Nox, right? This versus the X1. How much different is it in terms of pure speed and stats? A lot of it's just going to come down to literally the style that it looks like and what it represents for people. In the long run of Star Citizen, the MMO, they're just creating a whole bunch of different hover bikes that people are going to trade out for probably mainly aesthetics. So when it comes down to that, this isn't the design for me. And when it comes down to an LTI token, go crazy, folks. But this is the latest vehicle from Star Citizen. And I guess at this part of the video, because I didn't have any voiceover while I was playing this, I'm just going to say, like, I had a lot of fun fighting with this thing. I keep talking about how hover bikes are struggling in terms of their, like, handling, and they can be annoying, but when you do get a good battle on a hover bike and you're flying around shooting each other and like bobbing and weaving, and it can be a good feel. And I do hope that they use the gameplay that they get from us in Arena Commander here on this Grav Royale to start to improve hover bike movement, because this could turn into, it sounds weird to say, but the best place to go for hovercraft fighting. And that could also include basically pod racing kind of stuff. So like we could see something really good develop from this. I hope they continue with it, because right now it hurts, but I see a lot of potential. Anyways, cheers.